Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Zelda Month. In the second video of this illustrious month, we're going to be going through every mainline Zelda game, and I'll be picking which musical track I think is the best from each game. Now, I haven't played all these games, so for some of my picks, I'm not going to have any emotional attachment to them, but I did listen to the entirety of each game's soundtracks and picked which track is my favorite. One main rule that I followed while picking every single song was that I wouldn't pick duplicates. The Legend of Zelda series has some of the best music in gaming, with each title having vastly different music. I also try to spice things up a little bit by not picking songs that may sound similar to each other. I thought that would allow me to explore more of the game's soundtrack and have a larger variety in the list. Before we get into the best song in every Zelda game, I just need to say thank you so much for the massive amount of support on the previous video. I took a month break, and when I came back it felt like I never left, so just thank you to everyone who watched that video, and if you didn't, I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check it out. Without any further ado, let's get right into the best song from every Zelda game. Since we're going in release order, the very first Legend of Zelda game is the first game we're going to tackle, and there's some surprisingly decent options here. Now, while my personal favorite might be the main title theme, I decided to choose the basic overworld theme as the best song in the first Zelda. I mean, this is just an absolute classic theme that's been remixed throughout the entire series. The first game alone is filled with such iconic music, and it was surprisingly hard to narrow down which track I wanted to pick. Even the iconic dungeon theme was a contender. Now, I know that the game has like 5 music tracks, but still, each of them are awesome and iconic. But now on to the main overworld theme of the game and why I think it deserves to be number 1. Well, simply put, I feel like it's the most iconic song in the game. Once you get to the main game, it's the first thing you hear, and trust me, you're going to be hearing it quite a bit, but I'm pretty fine with that. It has such a nostalgic feel, and I mean, come on, this theme's been used or remixed in almost every Zelda game. It's the foundation for most of the overworld themes throughout Zelda history, and for that reason, I think it's the best song in the first Legend of Zelda. Now, Zelda II is easily the most hated game in the main Zelda franchise, but it's definitely not because of the music. This game doesn't have as many iconic themes as the first game, however, it does have the temple theme, which is just such a banger. While I do prefer the Smash Bros. Remix, the original temple theme is still amazing. The temple theme gives me vibes of exploration, which is exactly what you're doing when it graces your ears. The temples in Zelda 2 are some of the weakest in the series, but at least you get to listen to this absolutely awesome song while you're trying to figure out how to navigate these labyrinths. It almost makes the game playable. I kid, while Zelda 2 is mine and many others' least favorite Zelda games, I don't think it's that bad. Anyways, the temple theme is a standout in the game and has even transcended the game itself. I'd argue that more people know this song from Melee rather than Zelda 2, and honestly, that's probably for the best. I haven't fully played through A Link to the Past. Heck, I haven't even really played through it at all, but the one theme that stuck with me for the little bit I did play was the Kakariko Village theme. Kakariko Village is one of the most iconic locations in Zelda, and it has such a recognizable theme. While there's been a whole bunch of Kakariko Village themes, I think the one from Link to the Past might be my favorite Kakariko Village theme out of them all. It's so peaceful, and anytime you enter the village, it feels like you're right at home. It's so peaceful, and while on the outside Kakariko Village seems chill, there's a lot of dark history with this town. Even though it's a very peaceful theme and makes you feel like everything's gonna be alright, at the same time, there's something in the back of your mind saying that something is wrong. I mean, in Ocarina of Time, there's literally a whole temple hidden in the back filled with a bunch of dead people, which is pretty creepy. Still though, A Link to the Past Kakariko Village theme gives you a sense of peace without making things feel too safe. Quick heads up, I am going to be covering the original Link's Awakening alongside the remake. While yes, that does technically mean I'm picking 2 songs from this one game, I'll be specifically looking at the original tracks for the original game and the remake tracks for the remake. But for my personal pick for the best song in the original Link's Awakening, I actually had a decent bit of trouble. I could have gone with the absolutely iconic Ballad of the Windfish or even the sweet sound of the Mabe Village theme. However, I decided to go with a song that's near and dear to my heart, and that's the Angler's Tunnel theme. Now you may be asking yourself, why am I picking this over some other absolute classics? Well, back when I was a wee little lad, I remember watching Peanut Butter Gamer's Top 10 Zelda Songs video, and here, just watch.
I'm in a cave, it's wet, I'm in a cave, it's dark, I'm in a cave, let's jet, I'm in a cave, there's Mark, I'm in a cave, yes I'm in a cave, yes I'm in a cave, this is too high.
Yeah, just like many other Nintendo songs, this one has been absolutely ruined by Mr. Peanut Butter Gamer, but not in a bad way. Every time I listen to this song, I'm always singing it in the PBG way, and that brings me back to my childhood. Moving on to what many consider to be the best Zelda game ever, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and man, what a lineup. This was by far the hardest selection to choose from, but at the end of the day, I chose the song that I think sounds the best. The Zora's Domain theme is just the absolute best sounding song in the entire game. It's so whimsical and fits the location so very well. The steel pan opening is so soothing and all the other percussion instruments work so well together. The Zora are my absolute favorite race in the entirety of Zelda, and this theme follows them around wherever they go. It's been remade countless times throughout countless Zelda games, and the Ocarina of Time version is the absolute best one there is. And here we are at my favorite Zelda game, Majora's Mask. Since there are a few instances where music from Ocarina of Time is reused for this game, I decided to pick a Majora's Mask original track. Immediately, my mind jumped to two separate songs, being the Stone Tower Temple theme and the Astral Observatory theme. Both of these songs are super different, with the Astral Observatory sounding magical and the Stone Tower Temple theme being one of the best temple themes in all of Zelda. It was a tough choice, but at the end of the day, I had to pick Stone Tower. This is one of the greatest temples in the franchise, and the theme fits perfectly with the temple. There's all these different instruments that represent the people that Link has healed along the way. He's got all these friends that helped him along his journey, but at the end of the song, everything fades away except one lone woodwind, most likely representing the Skull Kid. This is the final temple of the game, and the music really helps elevate the temple to the next level. Alright, next up we have the two Oracle games, which I'm not too familiar with. I've never played either of these games, and honestly, I'm not that big on their music. I don't know if that's a hot take or not, but none of the tracks really stand out too much in my opinion. There were only two songs that stood out to me from each of these games. The first one is the Pirate's Jig from Oracle of Seasons. It's a super upbeat tune that gets pretty catchy the more it goes on. I don't know the context of what's going on while this song is playing, but I bet it's absolutely awesome. On the complete opposite end of the spectrum, for Oracle of Ages, the best song I've chosen is Sadness. Believe it or not, this is a pretty sad sounding melody, and that's a rarity in these games. There's not a whole lot of music tracks that outright invoke sadness, but Sadness gets its point across really well. I'd really like to get around to these games at some point and figure out where these songs are playing and how they can make me feel in gameplay. I, like most other people on this earth, have not played either Four Swords or Four Swords Adventure. Now I could make a whole joke about not having any friends, but in reality none of my friends really like Nintendo that much, so I don't have anyone to play these games with anyway. I have no emotional attachment to these games, so I chose each song purely based off of sound, and for the first Four Swords game I have to go with the Death Mountain theme. It has such a menacing feel to it, and it's kinda structured similar to Angler Tunnel, being pretty repetitive. Even though it's only the third dungeon in the game, it still feels like it could be the very last one. On the other hand, for Four Swords Adventure, I decided to choose an absolutely classic song in the franchise. I decided to go with the Goddess / File Select / Fairy Fountain theme from this game. I mean, come on, you knew some rendition of the Fairy Fountain theme would make it into the video. I just honestly didn't find anything special on the Four Swords Adventure soundtrack, so I just decided to put its amazing Fairy Fountain theme here. While it's not my personal favorite rendition of this iconic theme, that would of course be Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, it is still a certified banger. I'm currently in the process of playing through Wind Waker, but man, I've started up this game so many times. It's definitely one of the games I've tried to play the most but have never finished. Of course, during all of those attempts, I've had to play through the opening a whole bunch of times, which also means I've had to listen to the Outset Island theme a bunch. This honestly might be my favorite song on the entire list. It's so upbeat and it prepares you for the journey you're about to experience on the ocean. I also think that this song fits the Wind Waker art style very well. It's almost cartoonish in a way, like I would hear this on an old Saturday morning cartoon. There's other amazing pieces like Dragon Roost Island for example, but I think Outset Island fits the tone of the game so well. The Minish Cap is probably the game that I want to play most out of this franchise. I love its art style, the dungeons look pretty fun, and I've never fully beaten a 2D Zelda game, so who knows, maybe it could be cool. My pick though for the best song in this game is the Temple of Droplets theme, which is the 4th temple in the game. This temple revolves a lot around ice, and that's very apparent listening to this song. The sleigh bells constantly in the background really help add a lot to the temple's atmosphere, while everything else gives off classic Zelda temple vibes. Ice and snow themes in gaming are some of my absolute favorites, and the Temple of Droplets is an amazing example of those themes. Now for what might be the most obvious pick in all of these games, from Twilight Princess I've chosen Midna's Lament. I know earlier I was talking about how there weren't a bunch of outstanding emotional songs in this franchise, but man, Midna's Lament is the undisputed king of emotional musical masterpieces. Midna is to many the best partner of Link's, and her having such an amazing song to go along with her helps a lot. It also helps that this song plays in one of the most emotional parts of Twilight Princess, where it seems like Midna's about to meet her end. I doubt anyone is surprised about me picking this song because man, it might just be the perfect emotional masterpiece of the Zelda franchise. And now we're on to the DS Zelda titles, which I don't care for too much. Okay, I actually like Spirit Tracks a lot more than Phantom Hourglass, but they're still not the greatest Zelda titles. Like, don't even get me started on that stupid Temple of the Ocean King. Speaking of Phantom Hourglass, I decided to go with the Murkay Island theme for the best song in the game. Just like Outset Island, I think that this song matches the cartoony and whimsical vibe that the Toon Link games bring. While Phantom Hourglass is on the lower tier of Zelda games, it still has some pretty good music. While Murkay Island's theme is an upbeat banger, reminiscing from Spirit Tracks is slow and melancholy. Just like how in Four Swords Adventure I copped out and picked the Fairy Fountain theme, this song is just an even slower and sadder version of Zelda's Lullaby. I mean, Zelda literally dies in this game, so of course there's going to be some sort of Zelda's Lullaby in the game. I love this piece of music so much that I think I might just go to bed listening to it. Alright, I have mixed opinions on The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, but one thing I'm not mixed on is the music. It's honestly a top 3 Zelda OST with bangers like Ballad of the Goddess and the Skyloft theme. I even almost put the Sky theme on here, but I decided that there was only one correct answer for the best song in the game. Yes, Groos's theme is just the best thing ever. Groos is in my top 5 characters in Zelda, and his theme brings his personality to your ears. Groos is a super goofy character, and his song reflects that super well. I mean, I can't help but smile every single time I hear it, knowing that my goat is near. Even if you don't know exactly what this masterpiece is called, I can almost guarantee you that you've heard it before. A Link Between Worlds is a sequel to A Link to the Past, and it's got some great music. Unlike a lot of other games here, I've actually played through a lot of this game, however the music track I'm choosing I didn't encounter in my playthrough. The theme of Lorule Castle is found in the final dungeon of the game, being Lorule Castle itself, and this track deserves to represent it. I wish I would have made it this far into the game because oh my goodness, this feels like such an epic ending. It feels like the kind of thing I would hear during a battle in some epic fantasy. It's not menacing sounding like other Final Temple themes, instead it feels like the culmination of your entire journey so far. Sometimes finales in games don't have nearly as hype a theme as A Link Between Worlds, but I'm excited to fully get through this game just for this ending. Triforce Heroes is my second least favorite game on the list that I've played, and not even the soundtrack can save this game. There weren't a whole lot of interesting songs to pick, so I went with the Woodlands theme. The Woodlands is the first area in the game, and it's as basic gets. This is your classic Zelda forest area, and the song here is pretty upbeat with hints of the classic Zelda overworld theme heard throughout. Yeah, I don't really have a lot to say about this game. Triforce Heroes is just a bottom tier Zelda in every sense of the word. A common misconception that I absolutely hate is that Breath of the Wild has no soundtrack whatsoever. While yes, when you're just running around there's only ambient sounds with occasional piano notes playing, there's some absolutely amazing music tracks here. While I knew what I was picking for this game the second I came up with this idea, I just needed to highlight a few songs because man, there's so many awesome ones. There's the Stables theme, Rivali's theme, Mipha's theme, and of course the Terrytown theme. However, the undisputed best song in the game is by far Cass's theme. In Link's time running around the Kingdom of Hyrule, in certain areas you'll hear this beautiful song coming from this goofy little bird. He's always talking about random songs, but the one he's always playing before Link talks to him is the best out of them all. Just like Groos's theme earlier, I'd be super surprised if you haven't heard this one because it's so synonymous with Breath of the Wild. I mean, one of my least favorite parts about Tears of the Kingdom is that Cass isn't found anywhere at all in the game, meaning that you don't get to hear his glorious theme. I mean, he's a bird playing an accordion. What more could you ask for? I know it's kinda weird that I'm only covering the Link's Awakening remake and not other remakes, but I just think that the music sounds so much more different between the two Link's Awakening games. I went with a bit more of an obvious pick for the remake, however, and I mean, come on. It's the Ballad of the Windfish. I'm specifically picking the just instrumental version, so suck it, Marin, I don't want to hear none of your singing. It's such a beautiful piece of music with all the instruments you collect throughout the game coming together to form this song. It's such a melancholy sounding tune as, spoiler alert for this nearly 30-year-old game, the entirety of the island is about to cease to exist. Once the Windfish is awoken by this song, everything and everyone you met on the journey will disappear. It's a super sad ending to a Zelda game, and it's made even more impactful by the Ballad of the Windfish. While Breath of the Wild supposedly had a shortage of music, even though it definitely doesn't, I never heard this complaint with Tears of the Kingdom. I've been meaning to replay this game ever since I got the Switch 2, but I haven't gotten around to that yet. Something that I do remember liking a lot though is the entirety of the Wind Temple. My pick for the best song in this game is the Colgero Battle Boss music. This fight as a whole is probably my favorite in the game that isn't the final boss. Like I said earlier, I like ice and snow themes in games, and this is another masterpiece of that kind. It almost sounds like some epic Lord of the Rings music in spots. But man, those sleigh bells and vibraphones are the backbone of this track. The boss as a whole is so fun, and it feels like this is the final boss with the music. I don't know why they went so hard for the Colgera boss fight, but man am I glad they did. There's one point in the song where out of nowhere a choir and violins pop out and turn this track up to an 11. I know I've used the word masterpiece a whole lot in this video, but the Colgera battle theme might just be the living embodiment of that word. And here we are at the final song with Echoes of Wisdom. This game is unlike any 2D Zelda game before it because this time we're actually playing as the princess herself. It's also made in the Link's Awakening remake style, so there's a more cartoony feel to it. But my choice for the best song in this game is the Jabul Waters theme. I know we just had an absolutely epic piece of music for Tears of the Kingdom, but Jabul Waters is such a chill and laid back song. Believe it or not, this is part of a water section in the game, and as a whole, this area is pretty chill. Besides, of course, the massive rift in the middle of it, but that's besides the point. I mean, I just really like this theme, and I think it fits the area pretty well. Not necessarily in Jabul Waters, but around the area, you'll even get to meet the Zora. I don't think I have much more to say. I just really like the Jabul Waters theme, and I think that it's the best song in Echoes of Wisdom. Well, there you have it. There's my picks for the best song in every Zelda game. It was actually pretty cool going through each of the game's soundtracks and picking out what I thought was the best one. I'm pretty curious what other people think is the best song in each game, so if you're up for it, leave your list down below and I'll even reply to them. If you did enjoy this video, then maybe consider liking, subscribing, or just engaging with the video in any way you feel like. It would greatly support me, and hey, it's Zelda month, so it's the best time to support people who like Zelda. I got 2 more videos coming out this month, and one of those is a video I promised a long time ago, so be on the lookout. Alright, well that's gonna do it for me. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll be seeing ya.